and welcome to this Germany guide for World Ablaze. So today I'm gonna show you how to reach 9040 and kill France easily. It's a beginner oriented guide, but you can find some good tips in it even if you have like an advanced level on it. A lot of people helped me for the creation of this guide, so I wanted to thank them. So thanks to Shovel and Tutugri, so you have both the link in description if you want to check on them. So to start, you're gonna create, of course, your armies. Some change has been made, so it's gonna be a 9.2 guide for Germany. In theory, there should be a part 2 for Barbarossa and Russia. So when your army is gone, you're gonna send them to Austria for the Anschluss, and you're gonna start to recruit some division and put the prioritize button on them, so you can still like deploy them every time for years. We're gonna start the located training centers. We're gonna be useful for Russia, but you're gonna still use them before. We're gonna also start to decrypt both the UK and USSR, and we're gonna start to train the Navy. It's not a naval build that I'm gonna do, but you're gonna still use your submarines to do some convoy raiding. We're gonna also train our Air Force, so all of our fighters on Stuka, and be sure to use the shift left click to just train them until they are fully trained, not all of the time. And we're gonna prepare one strike bombing. We're gonna use it for the civil war in Spain. We're also gonna start to build 2 infrastructure in this state, one in this one, and another one in this one. Why? Because we want to use the iron on them, and we're gonna use a lot the decision to expand iron mine in this state, so we're gonna need a lot of infrastructure to capitalize on it. For the production, I'm gonna show it step by step, but for the start, it's gonna look like that. We're gonna keep those planes because we want to use the MIO upgrade by the production with the National Spirit Armor Aircraft Defense contracts. We give us a lot of money, and we want particularly the Blitz for the mission on your air company where we need 300 of them. We're gonna research a lot of stuff, so of course you want to research stuff that are in your range. So when we need to rush something in particular, I'm gonna say it. But in general, you just want to take like what you can do in this year without focusing on the naval stuff. Instead, we're gonna research stuff that give us money for the MIO. Even if we don't use them, we're gonna still research them. For example, the 222 that we're not gonna use, but we want the money to get the company up and running. And we're gonna rush the BF-109. For the air, we're gonna also start to use all of our air recon and send them when it's possible with the Rhineland in Britain, but for now it's not possible. We also don't want to research the Panzer II because we're gonna have it for free with our focus. So for now we're gonna still like keep it like that. So we go for Rhineland. We're gonna take one tank division and use model on it for the Spanish Civil War, and we also want to get our resource running. Be sure to import a lot from Greece when it's possible because you have like a very good commercial contract with them. Same thing for the bauxite. You're gonna have one too with Hungary later, so don't worry. Don't forget to train your division. Same thing, shift left click to get them like until they are fully trained. So now we have our first spy that we're gonna send to Austria in Vienna, and at the same time we're gonna start our new focus. We're gonna pick Proclaim the Axis Power, and now we are in partial mobilization, so we can start to do mills in both Rhineland and in Berlin. Be sure to build them where you have the maximum amount of infrastructure. In theory, for the MIO, you want to get all of the left things first, then the things will give you mills. But in this case, it's not possible, so you always pick the mills then first. But when you can, you go for the left side first. And don't forget to use your top bar resource to see in real time what's going on. So now that we have that, we're gonna put Goebbels to get more political power and weekly war support. And we're gonna go for the Treaty of Mutual Assistance, so we can get like more bauxite and aluminum from Italy when the time will come. When it's done, you go for Secure the State. The start of the focus tree, like how you do stuff, is pretty linear, but soon you're gonna have a lot of option on what you want to take at one point. So at this stage I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna pick, but most of them you can go what you want first, but we will get into that later. So now we're gonna form the FNSS, and in the same time we're gonna replace the old foreign minister by Ribbentrop. Now we're gonna spam passive defense. Now that it's done, we're gonna do the 4-year plan. At 25 you can recruit Himmler with the give Himmler field command. You can do it too directly here, but you don't get the influential stability and the support of the SS. So now we're gonna get our first spy from the USSR and start to boost the ideology in Vienna, and we're gonna implement our mentoring. So now we get the organization TOT, now the Reichsarbeitsdienst, now the Deutsche Arbeitsfront. Be sure to pick the APC mechanized branch. Here we're gonna keep our political power for the Civil War to send attaché, more passive defense, and now we're gonna wait for the Legion Condor focus. So it's gonna start the 17th, so you're gonna still have time, don't worry for your focus. When you start to have too much civilian factory for your mills, start to build them into 90 place. And you instantly send attaché. Then you start the Reichsautobahn, and you can send when it's possible your volunteer. So you send model with the Panzer Division and air volunteer of course, and you're gonna send the strike bomber that we took before, and send him in strategic bombing north of Spain. Now you're gonna start to put some trucks in production, and you recruit Guderian. With your division that arrive in Spain, you're gonna send it here, and you're gonna attack Cordoba. So you can get engineer from the river and hill fighter. Don't forget to put a marshal, but don't use a marshal because it's gonna split the XP with your general. You use garrison on a neutral country, so Portugal, and you're gonna do a front line with your general with an arrow. So he's gonna get organizer too while fighting. See, he starts to get engineer, panzer leader, hill fighter, and soon organizer. And the of artillery too is going to be useful later in the 1942 for the Hummel, which is a panzer artillery. Now we're going to get celebration of the Olympics. Take a closer look to your XP because you're going to have to do something when you're at 20. So now we're going to recruit Ernst Udet for the closer support, and we're going to recruit Martin Bormann. Then you go back to the industrial side of the focus tree and you get expand the KDF organization. Now we are at 20, so we're gonna get bold attack, and when it's possible give him Panzer Expert. So you're gonna get more chance to get attack when you're gonna level up, which is what you want. It's pretty random, but we are doing everything we can to increase the chance that you get attack, which is the most important stat for a Panzer leader. Now we are doing relation of the Wehrmacht. I'm gonna start producing some Dornier Dio. We're gonna pick the Luftwaffe, and we're gonna instantly remove Montour Army Service, because it's costing too much consumer good factor for the little army XP that you win over time. And don't forget to add more units when possible to the deployment zone. When you're done with your naval production from the start, you're gonna start to do some cruiser submarines and some convoy ship too. When you're done with the passive defense, you start to do the radio interception group. Don't research the excavation tool, you're gonna get a buff for that on the tree just later, so don't do that. Then you go for base and two fronts. Don't forget to pick up some more spies when you have time for the Soviets, from the Soviets, sorry. And now you get aeronautic funding, so you can get more political power and less build cost for your plane. Now you have enough to recruit TOT. And now that you have hill fighter and combat expert for your panzer leader, now that you have hill fighter and engineer, you can go back to the south and start to attack to reach Malaga and get urban fighter. Don't be afraid to do force attack. Now we're gonna do Autarcie. Then Reichswehr Göring. When you have enough XP, pick up Professional Officer Corps. You're gonna merge the steel industry to get the 20 more factory output on the steel mills. More spy for the Anschluss. Now we're gonna pick Machine Assisted Description, and we're gonna keep our political power for later. Now we have the 100% buff for the Escalation 2 and 3. Okay, now we have access to Malaga. Sadly, the Spain aren't reinforcing Malaga. I'm afraid they're gonna lose it. Then we go for nationalize the German arm industry, and that should be just in time to get the new fighters. Sadly, the Spanish are gonna take Malaga, so I can't farm the urban XP. When you have enough trucks, you can start to change the template of your division to start grinding cavalry leader. Keep rushing the German fighters and think about putting the high priority for your Spanish volunteers so they get all of the equipment first. The good things about this guy is that they give you more XP when you use them, so that's pretty good to have a motorized infantry division fighting. When you have 43 army experience, you need to go in there and pick up the C3I. When the focus is over, you instantly pick up Walter Funk and you do the Oberkommando des R and you accept this event. Then you plan the second generation. Now we're gonna issue the weapon contract and we're gonna rush the research of the Panzer IV. Same thing with the Panzer III. So with those events you instantly start to improve relation with China and we're gonna send your attaché here. We go for the Piemonte Army Research Center. Now a Continental Army and don't forget to spam the political favor decision. So when one of your agents get captured, you instantly try to save him. Now we're gonna send our attaché to China. Why China or not Japan? Because China give you more XP in general. Now we're gonna under the Soderkraftzug. Yeah, I'm sorry for the German pronunciation. I'm French. Now that we have everything we want except Urban Assault Specialist, we're gonna change our general. So we're gonna promote Model into a Marshal and we're gonna get Paul Ewald von Kleist. And we're gonna do the same, we're gonna go again at Cordoba. If you don't have Cordoba to farm the XP again, you can do it at other place, like for example here or here. Now we can start to trade with Italy too. 50 bauxite per usine, which is very nice. So I forgot to trade my navy in the start of the game, so I'm only having the XP now. But when you have it, you should as soon as possible do the politically controlled navy, and when you have enough, do the traditionalism. Now in our focus, we're gonna expand the domestic mining for the aluminium smelter for our plane. We research the Soderkraftzug, so now we pick traditionalism, and we can recruit Alfred for the submarine specialist, very cheap, 40 only political power. Same thing for the commerce genius trading. Now we're gonna prepare the Anschluss, so we're gonna do anti-commitment pact, and then West Wall border watch. We refuse this event. Then we're gonna do the Great Sky War. So you see here, I win at Cordoba. No, I think I'm gonna go south. And I'm gonna farm the XP across the river. Then I'm gonna independently farm the Hillfighter. Then we're gonna go for the long range escort. And now we're going to do the Anschluss. If you can't do it now, it's because your spy got captured too many times, which will happen on that's random. In the case, just continue what I'm gonna do later. And when you can, you go for the Anschluss. So my production in 48 looks like that. I have 75 on the fighters, 10 on my bombers, 10 on my Stuka, and I'm doing some more for the Blitz mission for my MIO. And I keep 1 on 1 for the recon on the transport company, transport plane. I have 15 on trucks, and I keep the same for my weapon. Anschluss, now we go for the Blomberg Fridge affair. So now that we have finished with Vienna and Austria, we're gonna send out our spy to Britain to steal their intel on the Navy and on the Air Force. Then you directly go for the formation of the OKW. When you get a new fighter model, you don't use it, you keep the old one. You're gonna see later why. And we're gonna rush the next one too again. Now we're gonna continue the BF 109 and we can start to spend our XP on the first doctrine. So that's the one I pick. So with the Panzer IV finale here, we're gonna remove instantly 25 mil from the fighters to start producing them. Now I'm gonna get the established this thing. So with this done, you instantly go into your doctrine, your air doctrine. You take those one and you go into your first thing and you get combat ace focus. Now you can go into the Kriegsmarine. U-boat effort. I'm gonna get my mechanized 2 now, the modular construction, and we're gonna do more Panzer IV with the mills we get. Don't forget to train your division and your plane. At this point you can also sell your very old plane to the market. I recommend putting 2 armies in front of France, waiting, and train them too. Then you can do Hartung Panzer. Now we're gonna do the Fallschirmjäger. If possible, try to fight for those style, the Forest one. They're very important. But yeah, in my case, they're just gonna die quickly because of the Italian and the Spanish guys. Now we're gonna do the Sudetenland. You're gonna infiltrate the Navy. Now you do the first Vienna Award. And when you're done with the decryption, you can start to spam the Naval Department and the Air Force Department. Then you go for the nationalized synthetic industries. Try to be careful with your bombers. If you see that the bombers have an ace, remove it. So like that, with some luck, you're gonna get another one. Then you go for invest in IG Farben. Then you instantly put IG Farben in your industry company. You go for the Bonnewerk Scopo and you stop doing mills. You finish the one started and you remove the other one and you start to spam those refineries now. Now we do coal liquidation. Now we're gonna do the fate of Czechoslovakia. By the way, when you have the level 3 of excavation, you can start to spam the bauxite on iron deposit to expand them. It's very important. So here we're gonna set up Slovakia as a puppet state, and we're gonna reassert Essen claim. So now that now we're gonna establish combined arms. So here I forgot to recharge them, but when you got the Marines and establish combined arms, we're gonna do something a little special that I'm gonna show you. Now we're gonna do the bomber revolution. We have the Panzer III that we're gonna start to produce. We're gonna continue to rush the Bf-109, the Stoss bomber program, and now we're gonna get the prioritized FW. We're gonna formate the Panzerwaffe. So now that we have the Marines, we're gonna do something a little special. So you go into your officer corps and you change to infantry modernization, and we're gonna change the full template with infantry for free, but only the infantry for now, and we're gonna copy that to the Protectorat Bauernmachen and do the same thing. And same thing for the Slovak state. Now we're gonna take firepower induction and remove one heavy artillery and put one artillery normal instead. You have several templates possible for that, but that's the most average one, so there we go. Same thing here. And in the paratrooper template, we're gonna place para-artillery instead. Same thing, we're gonna duplicate it and put pack artillery instead for the Marines. We're gonna also delete the artillery into this template and put just the heavy anti-air in it. And now we're gonna a third time change it for type of the spear, and we're gonna change that to Marines. We're gonna also do the template. There we go. Same thing for the German infantry template, we're gonna change it a little. And for the last time, we're gonna change it for the mobile warfare drive, and we're gonna change all of that in APC, and we're gonna change 2 of them into infantry support tank for now, and 2 in medium tank. And we're gonna put 1 medium tank and 2 infantry support tank, and change the template again. Then you put again professional officer corps. And there you go, you have your army ready. She's gonna take all of the equipment she needs, and you put it in training again. We're gonna create the Panzer Trooper 2, so don't forget to start to do your Panzer Division deploying. I like to do 8 of them for Poland and France. When you have infiltrated the Navy, you can start to infiltrate the Air Force. Then you can do the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Without being at war, we already have 92% of production output, which is very nice. Think about researching the Stug. When it's done, we can technically do Danziger War, but we're gonna wait a little and start to do the integration of Enigma, because if we do it too early, that's getting buffed to France and Britain. Continue to expand your mine. Don't produce the MG44 Panzerbuche because it's super costly and you want to stock as many weapons as you can for the rest of the war. Then you can do aggressive artillery. Don't forget to improve your relation with China again, because you want them to have very good relation to keep the tungsten flowing. Now we can do Danziger War, and very important, do all of your support company before France. So now we can do the Sturmgeschütz to get more money for Panzer, and we're gonna start to build air base in the left of Germany for the Battle of France. Now we're gonna go in our land doctrine again, and we're gonna pick elastic defense, central planning, and shock and air, and Schwerpunkt, Kampfgruppe, Blitzkrieg, control spacing, conversing sheet, and we're gonna go for air kill zone. So now you have full doctrine tier 2 for the Battle of Poland and France. Don't forget to improve your supply hub for the left side of Poland. Let's do observation from Spain. I'm lacking some panzer, but that's not a big deal because they will be ready for France. Don't forget to get your fleet back into the port before the war to get all of your major stuff. So mobile infantry, infantry genius, air superiority, army logistic genius, artillery specialist, and we're gonna give armor specialist to model. And we're gonna get army maneuver genius to be really fast. So we're gonna get some CAS, and we're gonna get in the air a lot of fighters for the Battle of France. And we're gonna get more air doctrine, so fighterist initiative. So now we're gonna stack some political power. We're gonna stack some days for the focus rush of what we want next for the war, and we're gonna click to invade. So as you can see, I have almost all of my army equipped. I just lack some panzer, but all of my infantry is ready and trained. I'm gonna give them all their tray. There we go. So we instantly do mobilize the workforce. We get our first warband, we mobilize extensive conscription, and we start to invade. start to train to your Fallschirmjäger when possible. Don't hesitate to bomb France if you want to get those planes out, because they're going to hide them for a long time. And Poland is dead. Don't forget to pick up when you can Hermann Göring too, and do your decision for the All Danzig will remain German speech and the emergency political power. So now we can go into the war economy and start to the factory conscription. Then we instantly do the reform the Reichsluftministerium. Now with the event of the economical trade with the USSR, we have almost no lack of rubber. Now we can do the Wehrmacht Schläferinnen. When you can, be sure to do your air doctrine. Be sure to continue to do your bond to get more money for your economy fatigue. And when it's done, you can do the Reichskommissariat. Now that we have the new fighter, we're gonna produce it a lot. And even if we can convert the old ones, we're gonna still research and rush the last one. And we can do the continue autarcy and farm Poland. You can also start to assume the control of the resource here. Then you can do exploitation of agricultural resource. And you can instantly start to exploit Poland to get more money. Then we're gonna do the Western War Plan. And now we can start to produce the Sturmgeschütz. I would pick now the unrestricted submarine warfare for when France gonna fall, we're gonna be able to send a lot of submarines to attack the British convoy. You're gonna want to paradrop here to get access to the aerodrome directly from the Denmark. Then you can get to Wolfpack. So now we're gonna prepare our panzer to invade Denmark and Norway pretty quickly, because we don't want them to have too much time to reinforce and have a pretty long capitulation limit. So we're gonna invade now. We accept our surrender. We start training our troops for France. There we go. Now we have foot in Norway and we're gonna start to invade it. So now we're gonna focus on France. At this point you can do whatever you want for your focus. You have like all of the majority that you need to. I would go though with the heavy panzer now, personally. So this is my panzer force before France. This is my template that I use. That's the one of Crucidius, by the way, thanks to him, very good template. We're just gonna add later the assault gun, but we don't have enough for now. By the way, with your Strug, don't forget to improve the armor here. So now we're gonna invade France. So let's see how it goes. So we have our first fight here. I'm gonna improve the logistic. There we go, so we don't have that much supply issue. We still have a little though. That's the time that the thing adjusts here, not a little better. So now that we are in France itself, and we're gonna move our air force to help to push more. So now we're gonna do the Dunkirk thing, like in real life, and we get Paris. So now we're gonna get aggressive, Defensive Defender, Offensive Doctrine, Modern Warfare, and then we're gonna get more stuff. That we have a level 9 model, which is pretty nice. And here too we're gonna go to the Le Havre. There we go. Now we can start to advance toward the rest of the country. We can get more tech. So now they should start to capitulate soon. And there we go. And now we have access to all the French equipment from the war, which is a lot of equipment. There we go. I hope you did enjoy this guide. That was pretty nice to do. I'm pretty new to that, so I hope it was easy to understand and follow. So if you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. And be ready for the second part, who will be coming soon, I think, to handle Barbarossa. Thank you, and bye bye!